They put somebody in the way so that you will think it is that person that caused what was happening. It was all planned. That's how deep. Because of what it entails of me being the next person succeeding my late grandmother. For one, the spiritual gift is way higher. Yes, I'm a modern priestess. My late grandmother, the ones who came before her, they all had shrines. They were juju priestesses. In those days, they used shrines. As the one who has succeeded my late grandmother, my platform, Truth Rising from Silence, is a life portal. It is spiritual. I have always said it. I speak truth. I expose people. I've been exposing pastors, native doctors, prophets, who over the years I went to for help because I was dying in silence. Spiritual attacks. My late grandmother's shrine was at Teddy Secular, inside Ekiosa, where she lived, her Igyogbe. There's nobody who did not know her. People could not look her directly in her eyes. And priestesses then wore the normal, usual regalia, white, because of the kind of power she possessed. Ancestors are wise, knowing that I'm a modern priestess. I live abroad. And that was done for a reason, to save my life. Because in between me going back and forth, every time I went back, something was done spiritually with the one whose womb I came into the world. True. There was nothing that was not done. Since I disowned this person, I know the attacks that they have been trying. But I'm a high priestess, rebutting ancient practices with my modern hands. My perimeter is secured, done by myself. Nothing crosses. I am the shrine. I'm not like the other priestesses before me that had their own shrines. The shrine is here. I am the altar. And then, when some spiritual manipulation was done, one of the highest abomination orchestrated by my late grandmother's first daughter, the one whose womb I came into the world. True. She made sure that my late grandmother's graveyard, her Igyogbe, her shrine, her ancestral home, that is meant for me, my birthright, she made sure it was sold. I always wondered, when my late grandmother passed, this woman, whose womb I came into the world through, stated that there was no will. And she split the properties into two and gave her younger sister, the Igyogbe. All the places that my late grandmother lived, she handed it to her younger sister. You know, when I became an adult, I was like, how generous can somebody be? Because she knew the consequence of her taking that property and doing what she wanted to do later on. Because by this time, my inheritance just taken over, swapped my memory. I could not remember my late grandmother, the one-to-one I had with her. But everything has been clear. When I say clear, I mean clear. My late grandmother, I was the last person as a child that saw my late grandmother. She was already past dead in her car. I was brought out to see her as tradition demands. They thought I would not remember, wiping my memory. I was the last person, yes. The day she died, I was about 10, 11. She was brought to my house by her driver, Sonny, and I was taken outside to see her. She knew she was not going to make it, and she ordered her driver to take her to my house to see her granddaughter. Because as tradition demands, she needed to see me. As a high priestess, she knew her time was already near. Everything was wiped out. At 7 is when the signs of my spiritual gift would have started. My grandmother at the time would have noticed a lot of things. She's the only one that would have been able to understand what I was saying. Since I was so young and my grandmother was still alive at the time, so there was already a priestess, high priestess, and I'm supposed to inherit when she passes. When she passed, I was the last person that saw her. But for some reason, I couldn't even remember anything. And this affected my academics at school. A swipe witchcraft was done to me. I do not say what I don't know.